Give me a fantastic band with a trumpet.
I'm a bit disappointed, to be honest.
Do me a favour, close up. What is it? What was it, Lee?
I'm a bit disappointed.
Oh, here you go, mate.
Thanks a lot. Just predictable, just like your boxing.
You asked for it, you take it.
Hey, I asked for these gloves because I wanted to look at them, and I'm just realising they're so big. That's why you're not stopped on them bantamweights.
You'll get them off, don't you worry.
Welcome everybody, and we just started the live stream there whilst we had the ceremony of Michael Conlan presenting Lee Wood with... okay.
And look all the people rushing to get it.
One lucky boy will get that that's from Lee Wood, so no one just can thank him.
Before we start, the customary welcome for everybody ahead of this massive fight, March 12th, live on DAZN from Nottingham Arena. Ticket sales through the absolute roof so far. This is going to be almost an instant 9,000 sellout for the WBA World Featherweight title. We've flown over from sunny London today. Firstly, I want to welcome everybody on the table. Ladies and gentlemen, firstly, a young trainer that has made huge waves in the sport. One of the top trainers in the world right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Davison in the place. And of course,
works hard, leave him alone.
The reigning and defending WBA World Featherweight Champion, Nottingham's very own Lee Wood in the place. And to the left of me, a young man who provided us with plenty of great nights. Some on our shows as well, a true fighter, tremendous talent as well, now head of Conlan's Boxing, Jamie Conlan. And of course, one of your proud sons, a tremendous amateur now, an unbeaten pro, ready to make his first challenge for his world title, March 12th in Nottingham. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Conlan. Jamie, we're going to start with you after your great performance yesterday. Just saw you chatting backstage to Ben as well. Obviously, no hard feelings, but a passionate time for you. Great to be in Belfast as well. And one thing you guys said yesterday was that kind of feeling as almost like an away fighter. You know you're going to have so many fans in the arena that night, but just giving you that little bit of spark, that edge to go over and rip the belt from Lee Wood on March 12th.
100%. We know where to be saying this. We didn't fly in private jets this morning. We flew on a nice British Airways flight with the lads last night. They're big lads and they were pulling on the seats, and so it was a very tight squeeze. So what we said yesterday, what this means to the family, what this means to Michael, what this means to Ireland. He's carried the flag of Ireland from 2012, pressure on his shoulders that other fighters cannot comprehend. Lee can't comprehend the pressure that Michael's had to fight under, whether it was in the Irish Fest as an amateur, through the Olympic Games, through the World Championships, now under the microscope as a professional, making his debut, headlining a card. No one does that. That brings scrutiny and more eyeballs to you, which is very hard to match. So he's had to learn in front of everybody, but had to learn the hard way because of it, because he's been open to criticism, been open to scrutiny. And this all it was worth it to get to this point, because there was a lot of learning, a lot of ups and downs in the 4 years that he's been a pro. And we've done it across America, now we're here, now we're won the Nottingham. As we stated yesterday, destiny, this is destiny. Going to the opponent's backyard, becoming a legend, creating legacy, ripping it away from him in front of his family, his friends, the people he's grew up with. It doesn't get much sweeter. Does not get much sweeter. And in our flight home, we'll get our own private jet and go home up with the belt.
You'll probably have a better one than the one we come over with. But the talk of Michael, of course, unblemished record, perfect record as a pro. I guess the argument is the expectations of Michael Conlan. How good is Michael Conlan? This is the toughest fight of his career so far. I think you'd all agree that. People talk about, this fight is going to go deep, it's going to get tough. Does Michael have that in him? We saw from you many times you would never ever give up. Obviously, same genes in the brother as well.
Yeah, listen, we're working class kids from West Belfast. It's an area which breeds them tough. We've came through tough times, and it's it's something that's ingrained with us. Every single one of us is in this room. We've got a bit of faith that they don't have in places like Nottingham. This is a tough city. They breathe them hard. Who gives a fuck about Fratch? This is what's in us. Listen, he's going to get everything checked. I expect this to be his toughest test. Lee Wood is a fantastic fighter. The hardest hitting featherweight in the world. I've heard Ben say harder hitting than Oscar Valdez, he said yesterday. So he's going to test Michael in different ways. Well, no doubt about it. He's strong. He's tall. He's bigger. He's got every advantage. They think he's more skillful. He's got every advantage to Michael. So it's exciting. It adds to the intrigue. It adds to proving people wrong. It adds to the big chip we have on our shoulder, and it's going to be so good when March 12th comes, sitting 11, 12 o'clock at night with the new WBA World Featherweight Champion and a nice big fuck you to everyone else.
Finally, before I come back to you in a bit, your comments to Ben yesterday, is that a little bit of mind games? Is that, you're trying to doubt his belief in his fighter, or? It's
truth. I wouldn't say it. Stated if it was truth. Everything I say was truth, and I gave him an opportunity to own up it, and he didn't, so he lied. And everything he says from here on in, I don't believe. It's bullshit. So that's. Don't get me wrong, I like Ben. We've had dinner together. We get on. I like listening to the stories. His jab is fantastic. He's got a fantastic array of fighters in the stable. He's a very good coach. He doubts himself, I think, sometimes. His ego gets the better of him, and he has to come out and state things to prove wrongs. But he's a really good coach. He's undefeated. I listened to him saying he's undefeated since 2016. He knows his own record as a coach, which states illegal. I wouldn't have said it. Listen, I wouldn't come in and make lies that were bullshit, because I like them. I like Lee. I like Ben. But everything I stated was true. We also have more proof, but I'm not going to emo down. We have screenshots and text messages stating what dates in the ring, how his doubts of Lee Wood, let's say, is.
Do you believe that Ben Davison believes that Lee Wood will win this fight?
No. I believe Ben Davison believes in Lee Wood's power. Do I believe that he believes in anything else? No, he fucking doesn't. Not a chance. He knows. Listen, I've listened to conversations I've heard conversations that he's had with people who I'm friends with and he's friends with, and he's more slating Michael than bigging up Lee. And he's being all respectful at press conferences, but he has said a lot of not nice things about my brother. So we're here to rip it away from everyone. And I wouldn't say anything if it wasn't true. I'd be deadly serious.
Ben, I kind of feel like that, it all started off quite nice for you. Everybody was championing Ben Davison, this great young trainer. Then you started signing a few big fighters and getting success. And now you're a bit of a walking target yourself. True or not, do you believe in your man for this fight? I know you rate Michael Conlan as well, but you truly believe. And, I remember when he went into that Reece Mould fight, you'd been training for a couple of weeks. You knew that was a tough fight. You told me he would beat Kanzu. Deep down in your heart, you really believe that Lee Wood will be victorious on March 12th?
100%. And look, there's a complete difference between saying I think someone's going to lose a fight and being realistic, which is vital in my opinion. That if you go the wrong way about a fight, you can lose a fight. This is a fight where if either man goes the wrong way about the fight, they can lose the fight. That's why it's drawn what it's drawn today, and the ticket sales are flying, because it is that type of fight. And I think it's important to me that you have to be realistic, and you have to have the mental strength to be able to absorb that, to be able to perform at your absolute best.
Is this a fight where you have to control your emotions? I mean, for Michael, he's a feisty individual. We know that he loves to at times stand and trade. He's also a smart fighter as well. But for Lee as well, someone that's walking out for the first time in front of 9,000 people, and his fans, Irish fans, it's going to be an incredible atmosphere.
Lee's extremely mentally strong. I've worked with other elite fighters, and Lee's got one of the best mindsets going into a fight of all the fighters I've worked with. So, yeah, I believe in Lee and I believe in his mindset, of course.
People talk about the punch power, and you've stated you believe he's the hardest punching featherweight out there as well. we know that's a major asset in the fight, but are people overlooking his technical ability as well in this fight? For years, he wasn't renowned as a puncher. He was just renowned as someone that was, technically good and tough to beat.
Yeah, obviously there's adjustments along the way, maturity, whatever it is, but I stand on what I said. And of course, look, I said this in an interview yesterday. I'm not going to be deluded here and say that Mick can't rack up a few rounds. Of course he can. Can Mick win some rounds? Of course he can. He's a very talented boxer and a very versatile fighter. But I do believe that there's certain tendencies and habits there that leave us with the opportunity to find that fight-changing moment that I believe will happen on the night.
There's a lot of talk in the head-to-head yesterday about size, and obviously both guys eyeing each other up. Do you feel like that plays a part in this fight as well? Lee Wood, a big featherweight, Michael Conlan coming up in weight as well. Is that size difference going to be important?
I don't think physically size, no, because, like mixed, although he's not known as a strong fighter, I believe that he's stronger than what his record or whatever may suggest. And look, there's a reason why he struggles to make super bantamweight. He's not tiny, but Lee is a good sized featherweight. But I don't think, we're going to go into the fight relying on physical attributes. It's a tactical thing that he's going to win this fight.
Michael, a bit of huffing and puffing from you so far on comments. Do you echo what your brother says? Do you think there's a lack of belief from that side as well? I mean, I really felt like you came into yesterday's press conference. You seem a lot more relaxed today. Yesterday was almost like I'm here.
Yeah, I'm in the back garden. I'm going to come and say what I got to say. There was no fear of me. I'm there. I'm going to talk my shit. I'm going to say what I need to say. Lee stutters. He says what he wants to say. He tries to spit things out. It wasn't making sense. But it's part of the fight game. It's all happening. I love this. This stuff gets me ready to go. I could fight right now, and that's the thing. I'm ready to go right now. Lee is not, and he doesn't need to be until the fight night, 100%. But that's the thing. I've stayed professional. I've been in training since September, and I thought I was fighting in December, so I didn't stop training because we were going to get changed. I kept training, stayed in shape, stayed fit, and listen, I could fight in the morning if I needed to. But March 12th, you'll hear I'm the new, and that's all I want to say.
The feeling of fighting on a big card, you've done it before, obviously in Belfast.
This is the thing as well, so
do you think that you feel like he'll crumble under that pressure?
I know exactly what it is like to fight under that pressure of fighting at home. Fought home 3 times, and every show has been massive. Loads of people there, so much expectation. A purpose-built arena in a park. This guy doesn't understand that. He's never felt that. You can see his demeanour has changed from yesterday. When he was walking about, not even shaking hands, everybody, yes. No, give him a thumbs up, no problem. Here he's sat quiet. He sits backstage, sits quiet. Comes here, comes on stage, sits quiet. And that's the way it is. He doesn't understand the pressures which come with fighting in your home city. He had the opportunity to fight in Madison Square Garden. And he can come to Belfast and fight if he wanted to. But no, he wants to fight in Nottingham before he retires, fights in the city ground before he retires. He knows I can beat him. He knows. So he doesn't want.
Do you believe he can beat you in any way, shape, or form?
Listen, there's possibilities in anybody losing. Anybody. I'm not going to say it's not impossible, but he will not beat me, and that's as simple as that. I really respect him as a fighter and a person, like I said yesterday, but again, fuck all that until the fight's over. Once the fight's over, shake his hand if he wants to have a pint. If he has a pint, go ahead, you have a pint. Glass of water, we're good, you know what I mean? But happy days, can't wait.
Come back to you shortly, Lee. Does the demeanour change? This is all new for you. You said on the flight over that normally you would have a press conference and 2 or 3 days later you'd be getting in there to fight because you'd never had any pre-press conferences. Obviously won the British title, turned round, got a dream shot against Kanzu. Many of you didn't think you'd win that fight. I was one of them, to be quite honest with you. And it was a tremendous performance. You ripped the world title away from Kanzu, and now you're defending in your hometown in front of 9,000 on what will be an amazing night.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a performing monkey, I'm a fighter. I'm not a media dream. I'm not being managed well. I've done it from the bottom up. But everything off my own back the hard way. In my opinion, I don't think Mick's ever been in a 50-50 fight. This is new for him. I've come through them challenges. I've been in the bookies. I'm not been favourite. And I come out the other side. from a pressure point of view. You know, yeah, he's right. There's going to be a lot of people that have been unfortunate in the cards. There's a lot of people there. And there's going to be a lot of pressure. And I thrive on pressure. My whole career, like, I've been thrown in, and I've come out the other side. Do you know what I mean? But listen, I've got 7 weeks to find out. It's going to go like that. And I
cannot wait.
I think that a lot of what Mick says, you know, that
he said, Jamie said he's going to come rip the belt from me.
Of course.
Michael says he's going to punch Made in.
Yes.
Yes, he said he's going to come win on points. For me, coming to win on points, ripping my belt from me, two different things.
Either way,
So
you
sure
still
you
take
come
the
to
belt,
punch
you rip
Made
the
in.
belt, whether it's points or whether I stop you. Let's be honest. You could stop by at McDonald's, Jazzy Dickens had you in your feet. They're both not.
You just
those
keep
punches.
watching them two
Don't
fights.
have
You
a
keep
fucking
studying them
chin.
two fights. You keep studying. You can discredit me all you want. You're just trying to convince
I'm not
yourself. I
discrediting you. I told you I
haven't
think
mentioned
you're a
none of
good
your
fighter.
performances.
I was so happy with your performance
Sorry, I didn't
against
realise
Conlan'S.
you wanted to talk.
I thought you're a great fighter. I do think you're a great fighter. I think you punch hard. You're a good fighter. You have good boxing ability. But like I said yesterday, you know, good punch, slow feet, curly head. I'll punch you.
That talk about you folding under pressure, obviously that is the unknown, how you will handle that. It's something you've dreamed of for a long time. Ben talks about how mentally strong you are as well. There is also the argument that you will thrive under that.
My greatest assets don't even get talked about one bit. Dedication, my life, and I put my life on hold. Boxing's everything for me, and it always has been since a young age. He's going to look at these defeats, and that's just going to work in my favour. Everyone looks at that. Everyone.
I actually don't look at your defeats.
Maybe look at the.
I don't look at your defeats.
He's just trying to.
I don't look at your defeats.
Just mention them.
I mention them, but I don't look at them.
I don't need to discredit Michael. I don't need to look at his performances.
Ben, you had to come. You weren't even meant to come, Ben. You took a day off being the best, hardest working coach in the world to come here. I mean, you're the hardest coach in the world. Met him going through Josh Taylor yesterday, and he says, I can't come here.
Actually, I went home and
go with
worked.
Lee.
Actually, I went home and worked. Actually, I went home and worked.
As I was saying, I don't need to nitpick for his performances. I know what I'm going to do. I know exactly what I need to do. You can analyse all them performances. Gavin McDonald can't punch the skin off rice pudding, and he punched Made in and stop me. If they want to watch that fight, then they're in for a very hard night.
Yeah, I haven't even watched
Jazzy
it.
Dickens, I was training at Exercise for Less, basically training myself. I had a lot of problems in my life. I had a 7-month-old child that I'd not seen. I had relationship issues, loads of things. I had bronchitis 3 weeks before the fight. But if you want to watch them, discredit them fights, go ahead and watch them.
Again,
Even the David Oliver Joyce fight, I wasn't even 60% fitness. I wasn't even 60% fit.
Davey was done.
And he was ringside. I could have shoved the tennis ball in your mouth when I put
Davey
down.
was washed.
But,
Davey was washed at that stage of his career. You met a young David Oliver Joyce who would have took you to school.
Michael's a great fighter. He's had some really good wins. He's a really big challenge. But I know I need to do on fight night, and it's going to make me discredit him. It's going to make my win look even worse. I just want to say how good a fighter he is, how great champion he is. He's great for the public eye. And Ireland is massive profile, and all the best on fight night because you're going to need it.
Your career, you know, I am still so happy for you, but never thought you would necessarily, with what you've been through, be at a stage where you'd be world champion. Obviously, I paid a lot of money for this fight at Perspid because I really wanted to do it. It's such a great fight. You're almost, you know, securing your future for this fight. But 2 weeks after this fight, I know neither of you guys are looking at it, but Josh Warrington fights Kiko Martinez. It's a natural unification straight after that. There is so many rewards out there for the winner of this fight. But through this fight, you are putting yourself in a great position. And it's very likely that this fight is going to get extremely, extremely tough. Now, this is a question to both of you. Lee, I'll start with you. How bad do you want it, and how deep are you willing to go in this fight? Because I think the kind of fight it's going to be, you're going to have to go to some dark places.
I've been there before. I've been there in fights. I've been there in my career, in my life. You know, to get, like I said, I've not had a promoter. I've not had any kind of anyone steering me in a direction. I'm not had my dad taking me to the gym from a young age. I walked in the gym on my own, 10, 11 years old. And it takes a lot to do that, you know, and to get to this point on my own. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of other fighters that got coaches and parents and even brothers, boxing families. I've got it on my own. and I've done it from pure determination, pure grit, resilience, and just refusal to give up. And that's what it's going to take to come through this fight, and that's what I do.
Michael, same question to you. As a pro, you haven't really had to dig too deep. Do you expect to have to do that on March 12th? And how much do you want this?
I'm ready to go right to the end. It does not matter. This fight means everything to me. Anything else, if this fight doesn't, if I don't win this fight, nothing else matters. This means everything to me. I've taken myself away from my both children. First time I've seen them in like 3 or 4 weeks now was last night, and it'll be the last time I'll see them for another 7 weeks until after the fight. This means everything to me. This is my life. The only thing I know is boxing. So that's what it means to me, and believe me, March 12th on the new 100%. Let's go get
And finally, I know that it seems that both camps are not looking beyond that. I talk about the Warrington Martinez fight. Whatever happens beyond the fight, the winner of this fight will change their life forever, and will put them in such a golden position, not just within the featherweight division, but on the world boxing stage.
100%. This is my journey. This is the start of my journey to become the best fighter in the world. Once I win this belt, I'll go on and do whatever I have to do after, but I have to win this belt first before I can even think of that.
Jamie, just finally from you, of course, we wrap this up now. We'll see everybody on Fight Week in Nottingham. The world hopefully will look a little bit different by then. Will be full capacity everywhere, weigh-ins, press conferences, and of course the arena will be packed out as well. Full confidence in your brother, ready for a great camp and a defining moment on March 12th.
Confidence comes in preparation. He's been preparing for this moment, as we stated, his whole life. But especially from 2012 when he became to the public eye, let's say, from the Irish team. So the preparation, preparing for Lee Wood, it doesn't matter who the opponent is, if it's Lee Wood or anyone else. Michael just has to prepare for Michael. Be the best Michael Conlan. The best Michael Conlan beats any other featherweight in the world. And I have no doubt in my mind that on March 12th, Ireland will have a new world champion and will be parading in Belfast the next day.
Ben, 7 weeks of hard work, a lot of chat. I'm sure there'll be a lot of social media action as well, as we see in boxing these days, but a tough 7 weeks ahead. Ready to prepare your man for a career-defining and a life-defining moment in his home city.
Yeah, of course. Like what Jamie just said there, there's a lot of pressure from both guys because every blood, sweat and tear they've ever shed leads up to this point in this fight for both guys. So, of course, a big night. And as Jamie believes in Michael, I believe in Lee.
Lee, finally, your moment, March 12th. You did it in the back garden at the Matchroom HQ to win the world title. This is going to be very different. A dream moment for you, ready to do whatever it takes.
Absolutely, there's nothing that's going to stop me getting the win across the line. I ain't going to knock him out to win. There's many ways I can win this fight, but we're working very, very hard in this fight, and I'm surprised if he is the final.
It's working. It's working. It's working. It's working. Oh.
Michael, closing words to your fans that have
Everyone
turned up
out,
today.
thank you very much. March 12th, and also, Lee, Ben, thanks for coming. Everybody's coming, yeah? You didn't think you would turn up today, so thank you.
You're welcome.
Guys, just want to say, this is a very, very tough sport, and probably, I believe, the greatest sport in the world. And we have a tremendous fight, March 12th. It wouldn't be possible without the brave young men and women that take part and put it on the line for our entertainment. 9,000 people in the Nottingham Arena will witness a brilliant fight, and many streaming live on DAZN around the world. We're very, very lucky to have fighters like this.
I did subscribe.
Did you? So good. So have many millions. And a lot of people are going to subscribe to this fight as well.
Thank you.
Nice to have you on DAZN.
Oh, thank you, man.
It's been a long time coming.
Keep you on after for the next one.
Of course, that'll come. But we'll have to give you a nice comeback fight.
He's only joking. He just said it because Lee's here last night. That's right. Come and cheer.
On a serious note, thank you so much for coming out. Keep yourself safe. I hope to see all of you on March 12th for a brilliant night. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Davison and Lee Wood. And Jamie and Michael Conlan'S.